The hardest working man in hip hop has returned with his ninth album and second collab drop already with Nicholas Craven in 2025. What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtapemaf. If you are rocking with this content, go ahead and smash that like button. Also, subscribe if you haven't. But today, I'm going to be hitting y'all with my thoughts on this new one from Nicholas Craven and Boldy James entitled Criminally Attached. So we know that Boldy James and Nicholas Craven have been this dynamic duo ever since the early 2020s. This is currently their fourth collaboration, and over the course of these drops, they have in fact tapped into some magic. They gel well together. Now, Boldy has been on this MVP-worthy run, dropping 9 projects as we prepare to wrap up 2025. And just to be clear, I'm not running with the narrative that just because an artist has a prolific output that they should necessarily be deemed the MVP, because the quality of the projects has to matter also. However, in Boldy's case, most of them were good. A few didn't have a ton of replay value, though, if I'm being honest. The standouts, though, for me were Conversational Pieces, Alphabet Highway, and Token of Appreciation. Now, his most recent drop during the summertime was Late to My Own Funeral, and that was a solid release that didn't get quite as much love as the previous 2 Craven collabs. But now they are back one more time with Criminally Attached, with 10 tracks lasting approximately 30 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with that track by track breakdown. The opener, Walnut Grove, has this warm, soulful soundscape that for me reminds me of a home cooked Sunday meal with the family, possibly during Thanksgiving, one where you might look outside the window and see some flurries. That's the kind of vibes this was channeling for me. And of course, Boldy is gliding over this smooth, soulful production. Some lines from Boldy that stood out were, unlike the rest of these dudes, I was the pride and joy, leader of the pack, but Jack ain't never ain't never been no mama's boy. He also had the line, now I know I'm down for the cause, something like a mongoloid, which is disrespectful, but witty at the same time, and I know where he was going with that. But yeah, overall strong opener that has that celebratory feel. The following, No Blemishes, is built around some gentle pianos and a pain-filled soul sample. And Boldy is in storytelling mode here, a little more vivid than on past efforts though. And he's talking about losing his innocence to the streets and dropping out in the 8th grade. Some pain-filled lines are, still feel my skin crawling, watching my granny shoot up, as well as sick I had to watch my dude Joey take his last breath. So you can feel the emotion and pain not only in the bars, but also in this particular sample-based production. Then there is infrared.com, and it's backed by some lush, jazzy synths. Overall, a shimmering instrumental. The vibes are colorful indeed and very pimp-esque, you could say. And Boldy's just gliding effortlessly here. Some of these lines jumped out to me. It sucks to be you. One thing I hate is a Mr. Me Too. I'll get you knocked off, no Timu. Stay on your A game, just trying to stay sane like navy blue and pink seafood. So he's giving out some abstract rap love there. But the second verse was really smooth, and just as a whole, this was a fly, colorful track. After that is Fully Smack, another high point. Now this has more of an urgent tone, and it's due to Boldy's delivery as well as the production. Now this has a blunted horn loop that did give off a slight RZA 260 production vibes. I'm not saying it's on that level, of course, but it did make me make that association for some reason. And Boldy was ruthless here with lines like, say you got 10 bodies, so if I kill him, that means 11 souls is mine. Also, get you robbed and killed for your prezi. He should be dead in no time. But yeah, Boldy was really in pocket here, just sounding fantastic over this bleak blaxploitation like beat. Then there is the posse cut trifecta featuring 50 Guwap Taj and Dave Hill. So you have a lot of back and forth action between these Detroit artists, and the Detroit accents are really strong on this one, and it's done over some bright sped up chipmunk soul production. It's definitely a vibe, and it gave me, for some reason, and this is me, of course, the visual of driving around, rocking a white polo sport bubble coat on a bright, sunny, wintry day, just driving through the snow. Maybe your jewelry's hitting a certain way. So yeah, as a result, quality street music. Track 6 is Thumb of Craven, a highlight, and this has a signature Craven production stamp. In my opinion, you are getting the alluring vocal chop, deliberate pianos, and Boldy's flow definitely stood out. Just the rhyme scheme overall was on point. You know, he was putting on a coke rap masterclass, you could say. Just intense criminal slang over this alluring drumless loop. Boldy said, my whip German, mother mixed, but my hustle Asian, quick to push that button on you, something like the Thumb of Craven. After that is Mr. Quaker Oaks featuring Poppy Bricks. There is a sleek saxophone presence here, as well as some minimal vocal chops. But yeah, the jazz rap vibes are in full effect, and this one is another vibe. The sax loop is really attractive though. Track 8, Thread the Needle, also a high point, has a wavier beat with the most drum presence on the whole project. Now, it is one of the standout beats as a result, and this is giving off a driving Undercity Lights late night with that head bop feel to it. But yeah, Boldy's vocals do sound buttery over this hypnotic Craven beat. And then the second to last track, 2 Left Feet, is another standout in my opinion. You were getting a cinematic blaxploitation feel to the production. It's very signature Nicholas Craven. Just envision an old flick like Across 110th Street meets Jackie Brown. That was just the cinematic vibe that I was getting from just the instrumental alone. I will say Boldy's vocals sound strangely mixed here, but he was talking about how he can't walk a straight line for nothing, and that revenge is just bittersweet. Then this album ends with First Time Around, and this has a unique, enchanting vocal chop that's very easy on the ears. It does feel very characteristic of Craven's crate digging style, and Boldy has the witty line, rap like I can't dance, which I believe pokes fun at the notion that lyrical rappers, as in Boldy's case, aren't able to dance as well as like a swag rapper could. At least that's where I thought he was going with it. But yeah, at the end of the day, dope way to close this out. And of course, the sample-based production was beautiful. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of 4 mics. I honestly don't have any complaints with this offering. I do think it's a step above Late to My Own Funeral, although that was a decent effort. However, I rarely return to it as the months have passed. But I do think this one, in terms of quality, is on the level of the first two. Perhaps it's even better. First 2 Craven collabs, that is. But let me know in the comment section if you feel that they have perfected their formula. It seems as though they have mastered this marriage of intricate coke rap over attractive drumless soul. Obviously, some of us prefer drums a bit more. However, with Nicholas Craven, you go into his projects already knowing that they will be light on the percussion. And I think that Nicholas Craven is the exception in a lot of cases, because the loops that he does tend to incorporate are usually so attractive that we're possibly able to overlook the lack of drum presence if drums are a big thing for you as a listener. But yeah, let me know below if you think that they can keep going at the current rate with the same formula, or do you think they will need to change things up a bit so the future projects don't get potentially stale. Favorite tracks include Walnut Grove, Infrared.com, Fully Smacked, Trifecta, Thumb of Craven, Thread the Needle, and 2 Left Feet. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtapemaf. I'm signing out, but as always, it's peace and blessings. Boldy James, Nicholas Craven, Criminally Attached 1.